additional introduction. Dr. Tala, the floor is yours. You've also introduced at the beginning. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me and for being with you. I would like just to make sure I have the slides being shared right. Yes. So I would like to thank you and thank the organizers for inviting me to this lovely symposium. And today I will be talking about from a theoretical background as well as from my previous research, and also bring you like different examples from what we are doing, for example, in the Hajj sectors as well as in the sports sectors. So it will give you an examples of the historical background of the user experience or the customer experience and how is affecting our life and our future from a different philosophy, if you can say. So I will be talking about what drive consumer continuance intentions. And first I would like to start with what we mean by experience, because there are like a lot of different definitions when it comes, for example, to the people coming from the IT. They are focusing more on the technology and the developing of the technology. Yes, the technology has helped us a lot on understanding more and enhancing the life and the user experience, but also would like to see the background of the human personal experience, user experience, depending on the industry they are focusing on or coming from. So the experience occurs when company integrate. Sorry, I can't see the slide. The intention when the company intentionally uses services or its services and its goods as a stage to engage individual customers in a way that create memorable events. So going back to the history, we'll see that the Bell Lab, who are first hired like a psychologist to help them to design the telephone systems in 1945. So that was like when the first, if you can see, the philosophy of user experience comes in. And in 1950, Bell Labs also identified that user experience being used in their designing process to have the first touch tone keypad, which was introduced in 1963. So that is like when in the processing itself, they consider the human as a centric point and how they want to help developing the telephone, and also to have the user experience process or concept being used. In 1993, Dr. Don Norman defined the term user experience in one of the Apple computer conferences, and he gave it even more of a sense in how what is the wider definition, which is going to see in the next slide. But before we go to that point, I would like also to talk about the philosophy of the consumer experience from different perspectives. The way I see it is even if, like from the creation of the human being, when the human being or the tribes were moving from land to land, looking for to survive, looking for water or for hunting or for planting. So they go and looking for the natural resources just to find a place where they could stay. That helped them also to, for example, to develop certain products and services or plants, and through the hunting to try to have those products. With the developing of the technology, or even trying to have more people using their services, they try to reach outside their area using the word of mouth and other available concept in that time to attract more people to use their services. Also to have something, because I would like to focus on three things here, to have we call it is the exchange. So that means they want other people to use their services or products, as well as to bring other services from outside. With the development of having the radio, the TV, all the other technologies, people, they start to go outside their boundaries and having more effect and impact on others to come and visit them to have their services being used, export, whatever. So even with now, because we are talking about the advancement of the technology and the hunger of the big data, as well as the social media and how is that impacting a lot of things. So here we can see that the centric of the user experience, it has an impact about the market, creating and generating the buzz and the conversations on the market, and also have an impact on the what we call it the social referral, because the social referral is the more factors that will help other people to use your services and to use your products. So all what we are doing when it comes to the user experience or the customer experience is to have something called the continuous intentions. We want to attract more people to visit our countries, to use our product, to use our services, and that also being developed to be not only between B2C, it is also about enhancing, as Mr. Ahmed says in the previous presentations, also talking about even when we design something, even the process itself, that is called part of the user experience. So that means we have like a B2B, B2C, C2C, as well as now we are talking about the C2D, consumer to digital, where we are sharing our experience, our photos, and we try to have more of our daily life, our visits for like to different countries. We are sharing that also to other humans, where we can also influence them to visit countries or to affect, and it being even used to have like even rumors about affecting other countries, about in the wars, about in the media, and the bias on the media. So it could be used as a user experience in a positive way or in a negative way. So going back to the Dr. Don Norman user experience, he said like the user experience encompasses all aspects of the end of the user interactions with the company or its services or its products. So that's mean it could be about the value, it could be about the functions, it could be the usability, it could be also the general impression that or the pleasant you have. It could be also the look and the feel of the products, its color. So it's not limited to any certain points. It could encompass all of those elements, how you handle your products, how you take it from the store, how you put it in your car, how you unbox the products. So everything, single things that we could identify on our mapping also will help on the user perceived experience, as well as based on the expectation confirmation theory, it will be then confirmed as like a positive or a negative experience. So when we talk about even like Saudi Arabia or the concept itself, we see more focus lately on the user experience, especially when the internet comes in the beginning of the 1990s. So we even with the having the e-commerce coming in and the developing of most of the countries. So most of the countries, they are focusing now in building the infrastructure. They want to have like a share on the tourism industry. They want people to come. They want foreign investors to come to their countries. So they are redefining the policy and the procedures in all their ministers or their sectors, just to enhance the B2B, the B2C, and the C2C, where more of the flow, enhancing the economy, as well as have an impact globally when it comes to user experience and enhancing the quality of life. So just like one of the examples that Saudi is working on, because it impacts the other slide I would like to talk about, is like about having the smart cities and how is that also going to enhance the human life, and will also enhance the journey or the customer journey or the customer experience in dealing in their day-to-day life. So when we talk about any smart cities, we are talking about the smart businesses and all the policy and the procedures and everything related to the functionality of the businesses and how they deal with other like government sectors, the smart living, the smart education, the smart cities community themselves, even in the designing of the district, the smart government and all the services is going to be provided to the business sectors or to the citizens. The smart infrastructures, the utility, everything in these points has an impact on the citizens, an impact on all the people who are living on the cities or in the country, and how these points is interacting with each other, and how also it's going to impact other sectors. So when we talk about smart mobility and we talk about the transportations and how the transportations is going to help the mass movement of the human being coming to the country, if it's like through the air or through the sea or even through like normal cars, that will help us to have a very nice journey from the first touch point of, for example, if you are talking about the smart Hajj, so that will help us to identify all the touch points of having a very nice Hajj and Umrah journey, or like a customer experience for all the Hajjs or people who are performing Hajj and Umrah. So the more we try to identify those touch points, it will help us to identify as well all those stakeholders who are dealing with that point. So if you are talking about the transportations, how we are going to help the people who are coming from Malaysia or Indonesia or even the United Kingdom or other countries to have like a very nice journey when they have their booking, how they also get their visa, how they will get all the transportations when arrive to the airport, for example, without having any human interactions. So that will help also the transportation ministry as well as all the stakeholders related to these sectors to try to improve and work hard with the enhancement of the technology to work in these sectors. So this is like what like the experts started from, like Wadi Mecca and other experts like Dr. Basim. When they started with the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, they tried to put this as a platform and a scope to try to, like 2 years ago, they tried to have like a test about the Hajj and Umrah or the smart Hajj and Umrah and help them to take the most important points and try to develop it from the media, from the health sectors. The health sectors when arrive to Jeddah, for example, or the airport, as well as with the smart chips where we can have their previous medical history that will help them also if they are facing any problems while they are performing their Hajj. Because in the Hajj sectors, we are dealing with like people coming from different classes, from different cultures, from different languages, hundreds of different languages being spoken. So you are dealing in a very small or short time with a huge number of people, and you need to make sure that they have a very nice experience. One of the examples, because Saudi, if you have following up, they have launching many hackathons and try to work in the innovations and developing different or helping in developing different technologies with the entrepreneurs where we can enhance the Hajj and Umrah experience. Just one of the examples, the most like critical points where we have on the medical sectors during Hajj is the translations, and in a very short time people they might have or come with the very critical illnesses like heart attack. So the translation process itself, if it cannot be quick, it could cause like a huge or a severe problems to the Haji. So they come up with the solutions where we have like a live translator from different countries where volunteers or doctors can participate to have live translations and give feedback with the doctor who are in the on site. So this new way of enhancing the concept of the health sector during the process of Hajj or Umrah is one of the, for example, the solutions comes through the hackathons, where some of the researchers or the entrepreneurs come with those solutions. A lot of other solutions comes even in the accommodations. We are talking about the hospitality. A lot of different solutions comes to the Hajj sectors to try to identify the most important points where we can enhance this journey. So that is like one of the examples. Even the contact, like the communications between the Hajj and their families. So one of the things that they have, like all their contacts and where they are going to be, even trying to track them on their movements. So they have the mobile where they have a phone, the phone number before even they start the journey. So that will make them share all their journey. They can talk to them. They share videos, pictures. There is like a tracking system for them. So we try to also eliminate the number of lost people, because that is like an issue when you deal with millions of people in a very certain time and a very short time as well. As we said, like people are coming from all different cultures and different languages during that time. If we go to another sectors which I have been involved in the last 10 years, is the sports. And we see like even the executives working in that industry, they feel that the sport is not as a sport by itself, is being now interacted with other economy. So it is now the sport itself, when you identify all the touch points, it is part of the entertainment, part of the fashions, part of the music, and you cannot just focus on the sports and ignore all the other points where the customers or the fans being interacted with and try to survive as a businesses. So trying to find also all the contact points for the fans or for the customers where we can enhance his experience, because as even the NBA faced like a huge problem during COVID-19, where they find the fans is not in the stadium, the fans being taken away to other entertainment sectors, because all of those businesses are competing to satisfy and try to attract the customer or the same person. So trying to focus on the innovations and how we enhance the customer experience, that will help the fans to interact and find new solutions to interact with, for example, with the game from their home or through their journey, or when they get to the stadiums as well, when they go back with their families or their kids or whatever. So they have like a global meeting, and they thought is like 94% of all the participants, they said like the most important thing is to focus now on innovations, to develop new ways and solutions that will help to enhance the fans to interact and have a very nice experience in the NBA, for example, sectors, because that will help them to continue, that will help them to grow and to go to a different markets, and to make this business sustained and survive and have a sustainability when it goes. So the main focus things in all the industries as well is to focus on sustainability, as well as to have like growth in their income by focusing on the customer experience. When we talked also about the development of the aviation industry, we are talking about the aviation industry help the mass movement between countries, help also to identify different sectors of tourism to attract different users, to enhance their experience, because people, they have the focus on leisure or focus on religion or focus on sports or whatever, you can name it as a type of travelers. So trying to identify those people and try to focus on enhancing the experience and all the touch point or what they need when they arrive to their destinations through, for example, the aviation industry, that help to have the aviation industry focus more on the development, giving a very nice experience. The countries focus more on developing their infrastructures to give more of user experience for all the travelers or the tourism. And when we, because we are talking about in this session about the sports, we are talking about, for example, the tourism is the largest industry that is growing up in the world. Sports is the large social phenomena. It has an interactions between the people globally. So when you try to add the tourism as well as to sports, that will give us the sport tourism, which is classified as one of the biggest type of economy in the world, and it has the biggest movement in the world. So all the sport industry now are focusing on the innovations as well as to enhance the fans base experience, if it related to the club or related to the organizer of the sport. So we are just going to take a few examples, then I will just touch on my framework that I have based on my previous research. So we have, for example, the Arsenals is having an innovation lab. The main purpose of the innovation lab is to interact with the innovators as well as with entrepreneurs, focusing on enhancing the fans base experience in their, for example, shopping online, improving the experience of the fans when they visit the club, improving the fan experience interacting with the product and the services of their the club sponsors, improving the match day experience. So the main things is to have a continuous relation with their fans, try to grow their income and businesses, try to give like a very nice experience to their fans. When we go also to the La Liga in Spain, they are dealing with Microsoft to have also different solutions to enhance the fan base experience and the participants on their competitions. And also they are, as you see, they are focusing on the fan participations and interactions through the social media, through the virtual reality and other digital platforms to give them a very nice and continuous experience. They are focusing also in the smart places, so that is about the ticketing, the food, will they get it while they are watching their games, about the electronic ticketing, about the smart stadiums. They are focusing also about the nice experience in the athletic performance, so all the things that related to the data and the injury prevention, which is going to give like a very nice and experience to the coaches, to the players being on the field, as well as the media, the broadcasting, and all those improvement on the broadcasting, which is going also to give like a very nice experience to the people who are sitting and watching from home or who are in the stadium. So this is, for example, an examples of the Spain. Also the City Group, which is part of the Manchester City, they have the same thing. They are focusing on those type of sectors. All of them, it has an effect on the customers experience or the fan experience, but also it's going to give the club or the groups a sustainability